Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Today, I am going to do my favorite books of 2018. I did my favorite books of 2017 last year. I will link it below, but I am doing the same thing, the same concept. I'm going to show you all of the books that I read and then tell you what my favorites are about and which ones I did not care for. Also, my goal was to read 30 books last year, and I went over it. I read 64 books last year. I did not read all of them that I had on my TBR, but I will get to that in another video. So, I am just going to get into all the books I read this year. Again, I do not own all the books, so I will have pictures for the ones I don't have and show you the ones I do have. These are not in any particular order. I read Party Games and Don't Stay Up Late, The Confession, Blood Promise, Spirit Bound, Last Sacrifice, Every Hearted Doorway, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, and Beneath the Sugar Sky. The Notebook, The Golden Compass, Bitter Blood, Fall of Night, Daylighters, Midnight Bites, Pretty Guardian, Sailor Moon, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. Pretty Little Liars, Vampire Night, Volume 1 and Volume number 2. Stardust, American Gods, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, The Picture of Dorian Gray, A World Without Princes, City of Bones, Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, The Great Gatsby, Tuck Everlasting, Dead Until Dark, Dead as a Doornail, Definitely Dead, Altogether Dead, Gone, Dietland, Volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Full Metal Alchemist, Illuminae, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Stealing the Wind, Flamecaster, Scarlet, The Time Traveler's Wife, Death Note Volume 1 and 2, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Carve the Mark, The Grim Legacy, The Titan's Curse, Outlander, The Hunger Games, Ready Player One, The Elite, Darkly Dreaming Dexter, which is The Awakening, Scythe, I'll Give You the Sun, Interview with the Vampire, Hollow City, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Comic Book Volume 1, which is issues 1 through 5, and Flowers in the Attic. My favorites were Blood Promise, and I'm not going to tell you what Blood Promise is about. I'm going to tell you what Vampire Academy is about, because no spoils. Lissa Dragomir is a Moroi princess, a mortal vampire with a rare gift for harnessing the earth's magic. She must be protected at all times from Strigoi, the fiercest vampires, the ones who never die. The powerful blend of human and vampire blood that flows through Rose Hathaway, Lissa's best friend, makes her a Dalfir. Rose is dedicated to a dangerous life of protecting Lissa from the Strigoi, who are hellbent on making Lissa one of them. After 2 years of freedom, Rose and Lissa are caught and dragged back to St. Vladimir's Academy, a school for vampire royalty and their guardians-to-be. Hidden in the deep forest of Montana, but inside the Iron Gates, life is even more fraught with danger, and the Strigoi are always close by. Rose and Lissa must navigate their dangerous world, confront the temptations of forbidden love, and never once let their guard down, lest the evil undead make Lissa one of them forever. My next favorite is Down Among the Sticks and Bones, which is book 2 of the Wayward Children series, but I'm just going to read every Heart Adoraway's description. Eleanor West, Home for Wayward Children. No solicitations, no visitors, no quest. Children have been disappearing under the right conditions, slipping through the shadows under a bed or at the back of a wardrobe, tumbling down rabbit holes and into old wells, and emerging somewhere else. But magical lands have little need for used-up miracle children. Nancy tumbled once, but now she's back. The things she's experienced, they change a person. The children under Miss West's care understand all too well, and each of them is seeking a way back to their own fantasy world. But Nancy's arrival makes a change at the home. There's a darkness just around each corner, and when tragedy strikes, it's up to Nancy and her newfound schoolmates to get to the heart of the matter, no matter what cost. Then, Fall of Night, which is book 14 of the Morganville Vampire series. I am going to read the description from Glass Houses, which is book 1. College freshman Claire Danvers has had enough of her nightmarish dorm situation. When Claire heads off campus, the imposing old house where she finds a room may not be much better. Her new roommates don't show many signs of life, but they'll have Claire's back when the town's deepest secrets come crawling out, hungry for fresh blood. Will she be able to face the town's terror, or will she drown like everyone else? Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. 16-year-old and not so openly gay Simon Spear prefers to save his drama for the school musical, but when an email falls into the wrong hands, his secret is at risk of being thrust into the spotlight. Now Simon is actually being blackmailed. If he doesn't play wingman for class clown Martin, his sexual identity will become everyone's business. Worse, the privacy of Blue, the pen name of the boy he's been emailing with, will be jeopardized. As his email correspondence with Blue grows more flirtatious, every day Simon's junior year has suddenly gotten all kinds of complicated. Simon has to find a way to step out of his comfort zone before he's pushed out, without alienating his friends, compromising himself, or fumbling a shot at happiness with the most confusing, adorable guy he's ever met. Definitely Dead, which is book 6 of the Sticky Stackhouse. I am going to read what book 1 is about, which is Dead Until Dark. Sticky Stackhouse is just a small-town cocktail waitress in small-town Louisiana until the vampire of her dreams walks into her life and one of her co-workers checks out. Maybe having a vampire for a boyfriend isn't such a bright idea. Illuminae. Oh, I loved that book. Book 1 of the Illuminae files. This morning, Katie thought breaking up with Ezra was the hardest thing she's had to do. This afternoon, her planet was invaded. The year is 2575, and two rival mega corporations are at war over a planet that's little more than an ice-covered speck at the edge of the universe. Too bad nobody thought to warn the people living on it. With enemy fire raining down on them, Katie and Ezra are barely even talking to each other, are forced to fight their way onto an evacuating fleet with an enemy warship in hot pursuit. But their problems are just getting started. A deadly plague has broke out and is mutating with terrifying results. The fleet's owl, which should be protecting them, may actually be their enemy, and nobody in charge will say what's really going on. As Katie hacks into a tangled web of data to find the truth. It's clear only one person can help her bring it all to light. The ex-boyfriend she swore she'd never speak to again. This book is like written in documents, like files from a computer, and it is so good. It's like Resident Evil in space. Like it's awesome. The Time Traveler's Wife, such a good read that I was not expecting to love so much. A most untraditional love story. This is the celebrated tale of Henry de Tamble, a dashing, adventurous librarian who inadvertently travels through time, and Claire Absher, an artist whose life takes a natural, sequential course. Henry and Claire's passionate affair endures across a sea of time and captures them in an impossible romantic trap that tests the strength of fate and bask in the bonds of love. If you like romance books, oh my gosh, you will love this. The Titan's Curse. Oh my gosh. Probably my favorite in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series so far. Really, really loved it. It came out of nowhere. I liked the first and second one, but I love this third book right here. So I'm going to tell you what the first book is about. It's called The Lightning Thief. Percy Jackson is a good kid, but he can't seem to focus on his schoolwork or control his temper. And lately being away at boarding school is only getting worse. Percy could have sworn his pre-algebra teacher turned into a monster and tried to kill him. When Percy's mom finds out, she knows it's time that he knew the truth about where he came from, and that he go to one place he'll be safe. She sends Percy to Camp Half-Blood, a summer camp for demigods on Long Island, where he learns that the father he never knew is Poseidon, god of the sea. Soon a mystery unfolds, and together with his friends, one a satyr and the other the demigod daughter of Athena, Percy sets out on a quest across the United States to reach the gates of the underworld located in a recording studio in Hollywood and prevent a catastrophic war between the gods. Ready Player One! I love the story. I love it. It's not written as well as I wished it was, but the story is amazing. And now I'm going to tell you what it's about. In the year 2044, reality is an ugly place. The only time teenage Wade Watts really feels alive is when he is jacked into the virtual utopia known as the Oasis. Wade's devoted his life to studying the puzzles hidden within this world's digital confines, puzzles that are based on their creator's obsession with the pop culture of decades past, and that promise massive power and fortune to whoever can unlock them. But when Wade stumbles upon the first clue, he finds himself beset by players willing to kill to take this ultimate prize. The race is on, and if Wade's going to survive, he'll have to win and confront the real world he's always been so desperate to escape. Now I will tell you the books that I absolutely did not like. Do not really recommend them. The Notebook, not impressed. The movie was way better. The book was okay. It wasn't like bad, but the movie's better. The next one is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I don't even like the movie of this one. Like, too cheesy for me. Too predictable. The picture of Dorian Gray. No. I hated it. I am surprised that I finished it. You do not put such a book in a category of horror when most of the book is not horror. You're a contemporary with a little bit of horror, and a boring contemporary at that. I'm sorry, Brian, but this one's on this list. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I just don't get it. I don't get what's so great about it. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's exciting. It was just there. Look at this fantastic cover. Gorgeous cover. Why, story? Why are you so bad? Why? I wanted to like this book so much. Veronica Roth, author of the Divergent series, wrote this book. You were boring. Surprised that I got through this one too. And honestly, I probably only did because I own it. And then lastly, this book. The only reason I read it is because my book club picked it. That's how you know I love you guys, everybody in book club. I don't remember. I think it was the beginning of 2018. It might have been the beginning of 2017. I don't remember. But I read half of this book and did not like it. So I DNF'd it. I had no desire to pick it up again. But after reading the whole thing, I can tell you, it does not get better. I hated it. It was so slow, so boring. And Louis, for such a vampire that does not feel things, you sure do whine a lot. Yes, I'm talking about you. Interview with the Vampire. I did not like that book. And you just saw how many vampire books that I have on my favorites list of this year. So no excuses. So that's it. I really hope that you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe if you're not already. Give me a thumbs up. Comment what your favorites were. The future depends on what we do in the present. Bye.